Welcome everyone to the Trust the Plan podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Jim.
And we're on to episode 196 today. We're talking about tips again. Not necessarily tips, but requests for donations are everywhere, just like tips.
Similar to tips, yeah.
So you may not know, we had the tip, the short reel that we did go viral. There's over 1 million views. Tons of debate out there on whether you agree with my take at Five Guys or if I'm a cheapskate, okay?
Yeah.
And I took a lot of heat from some people, but a lot of people were in full agreement, and that's just the way it is. But the Wall Street Journal, right? They kind of tagged along with this whole tip conversation that went viral on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and everywhere else. It wasn't just us, but I think we hit it right at the right time,
Yeah, I noticed that. I thought it was due to the large subscription audience that we have to our podcast that all the other big publications were picking up on our tipping comments. But
there you go. But have you ever been to PetSmart and they're like, "Hey, do you want to donate $1 to help homeless pets?"
Right.
Or at CVS, something else. I don't even know what they're asking for.
Yeah.
And they want you to round up, or do you want to add an extra $1, $2, $3?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I've done it, okay, but now that I feel fatigued,
mm-hmm.
I feel like request fatigue. There's a few things that I think about, okay, and bring on the comments here, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I don't necessarily trust that the money is going to where they say they are, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Call me crazy.
No, I don't think it's crazy at all. I don't know how you can't help but say, they say, round up to support education. Well, what does that mean? What education are we supporting? Is it our local school district? Is it are they sending money to
Ukrainian
school district? I don't know where it's going.
Number two, when I make a charitable contribution, one thing that's very important to me is the tax deduction,
mm-hmm.
the tax write-off. Well, if I make a $1 donation, I'm going to save 30 cents on taxes or whatever, but I'm really not going to, because I'm not going to keep the receipt.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to keep the receipt, so there's no evidence. And when I call up my CPA, there's no evidence. He's going to say, I want the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm not going to get the tax deduction. Not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being charitable, but you want to be, we talk about all the time, right? How you want to be efficient with your taxes. And that's one of the best ways to do it.
That's right. So let's contrast. In the past, I've gone to Bush's or Kroger here in Southeast Michigan, and they'll have like a brown grocery bag with food in the bag, all bundled up, and it's like, donate $10, and this bag of food goes to someone in need. I'm like, done.
Yeah.
Right? It's tangible. I can see it. I can trust that it's going to get delivered.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel like there's no extra middleman taking fees and extra costs. Like, I'll do that all day long. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but I like the sound of that a lot more, just for the reasons you said.
But I've also been to Kroger, where instead of having that tangible bag there, there's this little ticket, like a little coupon that you scan, and it adds $10 to your bill. And I'm like, well, where's the food? Where's the bag? Right? Like, how can I trust that this is actually going to get done? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the how it is factor. Right?
Yeah.
They just keep the $10. They put it over there, and it sits there for a year.
It sits in a fund somewhere.
That's right. Yeah. I don't like it. Don't like it. Now, let's take it one step further here, and let's talk about our restaurant ticket, our restaurant bills. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You read an article about an LA restaurant recently.
Yeah, it was an LA restaurant that basically just said our employees want health care, and I don't know, they can't afford it, they don't want to pay for it, so they're going to surcharge all the customer bills 4% to help subsidize their employees' health care.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right. Why not raise the price of the bill of each item by 4%?
Yeah, you can do that.
I don't like the nickels and dimes.
Right.
Last week I was in Carson's, which is kind of on the northeast side of Ann Arbor, and there's a sign in the window and a sign right at the host stand that says, due to credit card rewards, they specifically called out credit card rewards, they're adding a 3% surcharge to every bill, even if you pay in cash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
and it says this is not a service fee and this is not a tip, to the staff. Like, well, it is a service fee.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean it's not a service fee?
Yeah. That's interesting. One of the local pizza guys I go to once in a while, he will now ask you on the phone, are you going to pay by credit card or cash? And it's a different price. So same idea, but I would be frustrated with paying the credit card fee if I'm still paying for cash.
Yeah, definitely. Carson's is part of Main Street Ventures. I'm not calling them out or anything. It's not just a small mom and pop. This is a big, I mean, it's not Applebee's, okay? But like, there's probably like 10 or 20 restaurants as part of this Main Street Ventures, right? I just kind of feel like it's a podunk thing,
Yeah.
And, every time you walk in and you see that sign, I don't like it.
Right. No, nickel and diamond, stuff like that is never, doesn't tend to go over well.
Yeah. All right. So we've got the tips, the donations, the service fees, the health care.
Yeah.
Right. When will it end?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's just like you said. I like the word you use, fatigue, right? Because we've seen it so much now that it's just like, all right, I don't want anything to do with any of it. You know, the first one that came out and asked for a donation that I ever remember was the Firehouse Subs. Remember those guys? Support the Firemen's Fund.
Yeah,
and
sure.
It was like kind of a cool thing.
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay.
oh, I get it, the theme and all. But now everybody's doing it. So
yeah, and once you do it 10 times, then like, okay, well, I got to do it. Yeah. I'm getting tired of it. Maybe I'm going to stop.
Right.
Right. So bring on the comments. Let's go. Okay. Well, that was a fun one talking about, tips and donations and service charges. So I won't ask you to visit peakwm.com for a second opinion. Not today.
Not on tipping or online
week.
donation.
Yeah, next week. All right. Thanks for watching.